It's game day! Welcome to Weber Reserve for round 9 of the Westpac Women's Premiership. I'm Donnie Bell, joined by Dave McRae. Last week we had an absolute barn burner, top of the table clash. This week, Dave, a little different. We got the bottom of the table clash.
Just a little bit different, But I will see him in a minute. I had a look at the results. It's funny because I mentioned, as we say, look, I think we're going to have a minute silence, are we?
I think we might be Mar Parker.
I think we might have, yes. We might have gone a bit early on that one. So, yeah, fantastic stalwart of the Willagee Bears Rugby League Footy Club who left us during the week. And I tell you what, Don, that is the best representation of respect I reckon you could give any. If I, heaven forbid, there's no wood for me to knock, is there, over there? If I, pass on before my time's due, I want a bunch of people lining up just screaming obscenities. I don't want a minute silence. That's the best. That's the best form of respect. Of course, it is NODOC week, but we were talking last week as the teams come out. We might just truck up the women's results if I can find the button. Earlier in the week. Last week, I should say, the Kalamunda Bulldogs, who we're going to see tonight, before last week, they actually were showing some signs of improvement, scoring some tries, and they've come up against an absolutely rip-roaring, barnstorming Roosters side that put them to the sword.
Yes, 82 points to nil, and the Roosters have been struggling for a little bit of form themselves, and they clicked well and truly into gear in that one.
And some.
Just scoring points at will. But, mentioned that other game, top of the table clash, the Rabbitohs going back into first spot.
Absolute cracker. And if you haven't seen it, go back and watch it after this game. And I would suggest that is a real good picture into what a potential grand final will look like. Those teams for me are 1 and 2. It was clear in my mind, obviously, the Bears had taken the points here a few weeks ago, a month or so ago, that the Rabbitohs were like, well, we're not going to let this happen on our home. They came out, and I think at one stage the Bears sort of realised they weren't necessarily ready for it. Sarah Arsam scored the first try.
Yeah.
I mean, I said at the stage, I said I didn't have that in my in my book. So that gives you an idea of what type of game it was. But coming off the bye is the Giants. I haven't actually been tracking the bye of late during the year, so I don't know what it's going to be like for the Giants. They've had to come south, so in some respect they have come south. So coming south off the bye, will it give the Bulldogs a little bit extra? I don't know. But this is great respect for a new side. Two new sides, actually. You've got the Bears here on the left, and in the guts tonight, Kalamunda Bulldogs also a new side, and it's great to see they're still sticking together. I tell you what, I love that blue, Donnie. I love it. It's fantastic.
It's a full team too that the Bulldogs have run out with a full 20 players on the team list in front of me. So we're certainly not going to run out of puff, but we might just take a moment to observe this minute silence.
Of course, it is NODOC week as well. Plenty going on for that. Celebration of First Nations culture. Be a big week for us in rugby league, Don. Tonight, tomorrow, Sunday.
Absolutely.
Doesn't stop.
Plenty.
No, nor should it ever.
Plenty going on
Footy
this
every
week,
day of the
but,
week should be.
Big result before this game. Of course, a real classic encounter, a dour affair between the Willagee Bears and the Fremantle Roosters. Bears led 6-0 at half-time, and Fremantle 2 tries in the second half to win 8-6.
Jeepers. So that's 2 in a row. So they've lost. They were undefeated, weren't they? Now they've lost 2 in a row.
Lost a couple on the trot. All of a sudden, the Ellenbrook Rabbitohs will be a couple clear on the top of the ladder with the bye points, and the Fremantle Roosters, they close in on the Bears in second spot. So they've been involved in a couple of really tough contests. The Bears, as we're underway in this one, the Joondalup Giants kick off to get us underway, and that one tapped up to their own advantage. It's the Kalamunda Bulldogs. First carry's a strong one. Now turned underneath. Trying to find a front. Gets up for a quick play, the ball for you. Dummying to the outside. Looking a good first set so far from the Dogs. Lungi plays the ball. Now tonight. Driven backwards. Smiler and Gilmore Spence in the tackle. So another hit up, keeping it nice and simple through Albert. They lead to dummy half. They get to the kick. So a good start from Kalamunda and a mistake from Foxcroft.
Not a bad kick, I was about to say. She's just hoiked that. It's like a box kick. It was going to always be a tumbler, tough to take. Referee, our man with the flying locks, we saw him a couple of weeks ago as well. That's good. I think I've been speaking about this for a while from the Bulldogs' perspective. They just got to play some proper footy. Just get back to little baby steps, little goals, completing sets, completing carries, not giving away penalties. That was a good opening set. It's putting him in a pretty good position. First up.
First set was nice and simple. Now they'll be in an attacking position. So if I want to do something a little bit more, you would think, in this set. Let's see what they come up with. A couple wide. I don't have a 21 on my list, so not sure who that is.
Oh,
slow to
down
a feet
already.
and a bit of pain and anguish on the face.
That's
a great kick-off.
Left leg. She's in significant strife. See if we can see something here. Oh, she come down on that leg?
I don't want to play Dr. Commentator, but it looked to me like it might be a contact injury, which tends to be quite painful, but isn't long term.
Yeah,
so
they
hopefully
do.
that is the case.
They sting a bit, don't they? Especially in that area.
Well, there's a few smiles, and again, lending itself to the fact that hopefully it's not.
Yeah, it is that left leg.
Long term.
Is it an ankle or a knee? I think it might be a knee.
Perhaps it was just that despite the injury, she had some humour on the ground.
Yeah, for me, I reckon that's the knee, the way she's holding it up. But, again, contact on the knee, bloody hurts. So, let's just hope it's just that, because it was the first carry. Only 2 minutes in.
Had a great charge from the kick-off return.
Yes.
And then, again, from that scrum win.
I think I might have heard a familiar laugh in the crowd there. Might send a text. So, well, lucky they've brought a big bench because they're going to need it by lots of things.
He plays the ball. Hit up her second strong charge of this match. Easy for you. Siakia tipping. Slow play the ball. Working down this blind side again. Few again striving towards the line. The Giants, they have to get numbers in there. And they do. Edwards it was that stopped the try from being scored. It's Morangi standing in the tackle, looking to get the offload away. They sit out to the right. They come that way. Siakia's going to have to go off the boot.
The play
comes back.
+6 again.
Nene. Again, Siakia. Gilmore Spence in the tackle along with Warren. Morangi doing plenty, showing the ball.
Oh, good hands.
They end up getting it out wider. It's picked up now by Harris. Harris comes back in towards the middle. Thrown down to the ground. Morangi again. Dummy. Double pump. Going for the line now. Siakia dives in and scores. Try to Tracy Siakia. And the Kalamunda Bulldogs will play from in front.
Well, just some really sensible football, Don. Really sensible football. Just getting it in the right position. Those tackles, hitting it up, resetting, getting in the middle, allowing the expanses to open up. Real sensible footy. I was at the point of those first couple of carries where I thought, you know, do they have the polish to be able to convert in those positions? Turns out they do. You know?
I tell you what, the skill set of Carey and Morangi, there was a couple of plays back-to-back in that set. Just that the little double pump, the shape to go one way and to do something else, just holds that defence up and created space to the outside. And Tracy Siakia had a bit of work to do herself. Even though the space was created for her, she had to be good enough to get over in the corner.
It's confidence footy, isn't it? For a team that's brand new and got girls in it that's probably never played the game, to have someone like that, you can have that confidence, and then you can, as a teammate, you know that she's going to help make that play. You can take her lead. That's not the greatest kick, but that's fine because they've scored first, so that's all that matters. I just had a look at the previous score. So Norton and Rutane within 5 minutes. So they came from nowhere in 5 minutes, the Roosters.
To win the game, snatched it from the Bears, who played tough as they have a tendency to do, but it wasn't enough at home tonight. The Roosters with, you'd have to say, their best win of the season so far.
Absolutely.
Now the kick-off from the Giants. Down to the Bulldogs. Nene carries it back. Edwards, good defence. They're going to try and aim up. They haven't had the ball yet, the Giants. It's been all Kalamunda so far.
This ball movement this is a different side, Don. I know it's only 7 minutes, but this is a different side than what we've seen before.
Well, I mean, we saw the scoreline last week.
Whoa,
there it is again from Morangi. They come out wide to Lewis. Lewis going towards the sideline, though.
I think she's just lost her bearings there.
It was good defence from the Giants. And Warren was holding her up and taking her into touch. So now Edwards able to run a long way before she gets to the defensive line. First use of the ball really for Joondalup. Down low for Matthew. Harakura Shernak going to that right-hand side. Out to Wiley. Wiley goes wider. They find a bit of space. The Bulldogs have to adjust. Get across to make the tackle on Munro. Tipping on to Edwards. The ball comes free. I'm pretty sure he just said goal line dropout there.
I'm pretty sure he did too. How is it a goal line dropout?
I can only assume he's called that as being a strip while in the motion of scoring the try and taking the goal. So
he did sort of motion. That would be. So
it doesn't matter that there's 15 in the tackle. If they're in the motion of scoring a try, you can rip it out. Well, that around the corner to Smiler. Smiler for the line. Gets it down. Kiri Smiler. Well, that will be a popular try amongst the Joondalup Giants faithful.
Again, coming from one of the least likely on the park.
Well, Kiri Smiler runs 80 to score this one. That'll be the story later on tonight.
Just open that up well. Feint to the right, allowed Smiler to come through on the left.
I think she saw the defence coming across and wasn't certain she was going to be able to make it. Put on the Kiri Smiler version of a goose step and
run straight through.
That's it. The only way. Rounds from the touchline. Try and give the Giants the lead for the first time. Got to get the Toblerone out of the way first of all. I don't think we had Toblerones in Western Australia until Tony Crow
started calling them He still does. He calls them Toblerones.
Loves them.
Up in the top end too. That's not a bit of a... Yeah, I don't think they have Toblerones in NT, but he still calls them Toblerones.
It looked like it was remote controlled.
It did, didn't it? That took a turn.
Nice little play there from Brianna Bunce as well to look to the outside and go to Smiler unmarked. The Bulldogs have had a bright start. Find themselves locked up after the Giants got their first repeat set of the match.
Live scoring is suggesting they're up by 4, Don. No, here we go. Yeah, they've booked the try twice for the Dogs.
Nugget runs at Albert. He makes the tackle. Now with Warren. Flung to the ground. Parakura Shernak, the dummy half. Rungy just crowding there in the ruck as Matthew busting through tackles. Broken through 3 before eventually dragged down from behind. But that puts the Giants right on the front foot. Now to Edwards. Edwards looks to the outside. They step back in. Going towards the line, held up and kept in the field of play. Good defence, good scramble from Kalamunda. The kick going across field. A contest taken nicely by Harris. And the Bulldogs survive, but they are under all sorts of pressure at the moment from the Giants.
Do you go an early kick, Don? Maybe that's an option.
Well, they're stuck down in their own territory at the moment, going nowhere. And that'll help.
Offside.
Well, that would have been the cry from every single one of the Giant players. Do not give away a penalty. They've jumped early. And the referee, he was sweating on them. Blows the penalty and helps the Bulldogs out of their own end somewhat. Well, they're still just beyond their 20-metre line there as the Giants aiming up defensively. Edwards and Gilmore Spence in that tackle. Punching in behind the ruck.
Oh, good turn.
Denay gets rid of Gilmore Spence before Smiler and Edwards get it to the ground. Now run out of dummy half from Maere. Like to get somebody else into dummy half, and they do through Morangi. This is a good start to this game, and he's a good, strong carry. Another player that's had a good start to the game, Missy for you.
I like the way she's kicking that ball. Tumbling. It's going to be, well, it's well collected in the end.
Sinead Lowndes! A staggered chase there from the Bulldogs, and it just opened up. Lowndes gets over halfway on play one. All of a sudden, the Kalamunda Bulldogs are running backwards.
Oh, good tackle from behind.
Had to be made there. Noshia Albert. Now Parakura Shernak. We play it back to Edwards. Now Warren. Well, the Bulldogs are on their heels this entire set. It started with Lowndes. Floater over the top and put down. Porter with the mistake.
Again, some more relieving pressure.
They're only just holding on, but they're holding on. The Doggies. Well, you can't fault their effort, Kalamunda.
I did notice in the pre-game when they came out, there's a change in mannerism with the team. They all seem like they're all up for it, all up for the challenge, all want to be there. Which I know sounds silly, but there has been occasions when we've seen them earlier in the year where they didn't look like they wanted to be there. Looks like they might have a few new names in the side as well.
Right up against the sideline there, Aim. Albert plays it back to Maere. Morangi turns that one underneath to Few. That's a strip there from the Giants. Should be a penalty for the Bulldogs.
It is too.
That was a pretty obvious one. Stepping up to try and take the quick tap. There's the try scorer, Siakia, but not on the mark. So we'll have another go at taking the tap once the referee allows. A little bit of a step there from Marianne Paul. A long way behind the advantage line for that carry. Getting back to the advantage line before she's met solidly by Edwards and Edwards.
Jeez, they like that inside-outside ball.
Yeah, that
frustrates me.
Turning it underneath quite a bit. It's obviously something they've been working on at training. So sort of basic skills that have grown through the season.
Ball.
A nice flat ball gets them to the outside.
The
runs into heavy contact, Lewis. And Sinead Lowndes has had some moments in this game in attack and shows a good moment there defensively.
Tell you what though, I don't have a 4 on my team sheet. Don, you'll have to tell me who that is.
Sadie Lewis.
She's got some talent. She's got a big future in the game. Not just toe, but just the audacity to go on that run too was good, entertaining.
I don't know whether your list might be more accurate than mine in some ways. We'll have to have a bit of a look later. There we go, what I've got at the moment. Parakura Shernak. Look across. And now... Oh!
Get some of that.
Absolutely smoked by Albert.
Is she laughing?
She's got up laughing, Topaz Porter.
Oh, good. Just have a look at this.
Loved it.
Booyakasha.
Oh. And now Lowndes will score.
Jeez.
So back live. And they just use the ball through their hands, and Lowndes deserves a try, gets one. And the Giants hit the front 8-4, kick to come.
The best part of that was that she got up and had a chuckle about it. That was awesome. I will say I've said this for a few years, Don, and I remember someone criticised me for this, but you will see more of those type of hits in the women's game than you will the men's game. It's obviously the different type of athletes, but yeah, they might be bigger, they might hit a bit harder, they might run a bit harder in the men's game. Because the women's game across all levels can be a bit more expansive, when they do hit and they line each other up, wipe each other out, it's fantastic.
It's definitely entertaining to watch, that's for sure.
I think I remember a Anzac Challenge at this very venue. Absolutely cracking women's game. For the first 20 minutes, it was just hit after hit after hit. I think you were calling with our good friend Zach
Spear.
Or Zach Spears. Maybe you boys just having massive smiles on your faces at halftime game. This is great.
Always a good time with Zach. 21 minutes gone. The Giants, they're in front for the first time in this game, and they've had to really earn it. 4-point lead. The Bulldogs, well, they've certainly given as good as they've got in that department.
They do. They're looking good. And they definitely have improved since we saw them the first time. And I'm really happy to see that they've got a significant bench as well. So not only are they keeping those that they've recruited, but it looks like they're enticing more to join, hopefully. There is a few new faces or names that I haven't seen. They're a club, I remember from the very first time we got involved in rugby league 10 years ago. It's a club that I've always wanted to see big things from as they muck around at the back. And a club that doesn't get a lot of love even from their local council as well. They still play out of a shed, Don.
Porter wore that big hit with a smile and still taking some strong carries. Erika Shernak gets the offload away. Now through Wiley. Making metres at will. Dumming on the outside and
down.
Going all the way in to score the try.
Did she dummy to her left there before she went down?
Grace Matthew dummied about 12 times before she burst through. It scores another one here. Oh, the Giants.
Just there.
Rides through that contact and slams it down.
So it's a good crowd in at Webber Park. The locals have stayed around to watch the second game.
You certainly hear them in the background. Runga has taken over the goal kicking and pilots that one through for the first successful conversion of this game.
Probably the easiest one of the day, of the night I should say. You see this again, there's a pump. Oh, gap, I'll take that, bang.
Certainly a real contest here for a long while in this opening half. Fatigue does look like it's set in for the Bulldogs.
I did actually think about that before the game even started. A few of them were sucking in the juice as they've run out for the minutes silent. I thought, that's not a good indication of how far they'll go in the 60 if they're panting after running on. But again, you build things from scratch. You've got to start slow from little things, as they say. as Paul Kelly would say.
Moronga was cautious in picking that one up, used the feet, kept the hands out of the way. Gilmore Spence tips that onto Edwards. Edwards gets to the outside.
Oh, bang.
Looks to use her speed.
Has she lost that? No.
Not something she's known for, Chanel Edwards. And Maria Edwards now. Bent over. Rip it out, then pretend like you didn't.
She's
Play
taking
says
contact.
The referee from the quick tap restart.
I don't know if you saw that, Don. She's taking contact. The ball carrier bounced off her, and she did not like it. She said, "I'm going to go back there and I'm going to sort this out." But probably not that way to do it.
The penalty. The Giants go right on the attack through Warren. Wants to get the offload away. Pulls it back in. Edwards will go from dummy half. Looks to bump away from one and just bounces over the try line. Well, she wanted that try.
Yeah, she absolutely
As soon as
did.
she got into dummy half, she wanted to score.
She's like, no, this is mine. See it here. She's like, yep, get out of my way. You're in my way. So are you. Get out of it. It's mine. Bang. Chanel Edwards, the veteran.
She loves it when we call her that. The
Does
veteran. Well, absolutely.
Well, she is. I mean, how many years she's been playing now? I know what you're saying, but and a premiership player too. Now she can say that. There would have been a few in this club that for a while were probably wondering if they were ever going to be able to say that about themselves. Jewel, did she play? She played in 03, 2-3.
Both.
Yeah, so there you go. Two medallions hanging somewhere. Special.
Because the other thing, the win for the Fremantle Roosters tonight does is it makes the job for the Joondalup Giants a little bit harder if they do want to get into that top three. They certainly have to start with a win here tonight.
It's essentially top two, isn't it? Sorry, it's second and third, isn't it?
Yeah, so first goes straight through to the grand final. And second and third will play each other for the second spot in the grand final. So the pretty unique final system, I think, in the Westpac Women's Premiership, a top three final system. You don't see that anywhere else.
It's a good reward for finishing top. And in a competition like this, where you've got, it's obviously three clubs that are probably the standouts at the moment. Are they the Giants over the last month? I think have started to show a few more green shoots. Of course, there's been some personnel changes. She muffed that. She has two. Bulldogs will take that. But as you've just pointed out, it gives some impetus. You know, that bottom end of the ladder, you could find yourself in third spot with one opportunity to play in a grand final.
Yep.
And if last year's, she's dropped the handle on that. If last year's grand finals didn't even go by, anything can happen.
Absolutely.
I'm sure the Annabelle Rabbitohs have nightmares about that grand final.
We've had a sloppy end to this half. Still got 90 seconds to go on our clock until the break. And the Bulldogs snatched something just before the halftime siren. There don't seem to be any great rust to pack this scrum, but
we'll have to go through the numbers. This will be close to one of their best halves of the year. So again, baby steps for this new side.
And they do put on a little move. It doesn't quite work out as they drew it up, but good to see them having a go at it.
What's the referee saying there?
I think he's saying she got up without the ball, so essentially a knock on, lost it in the ruck. So another scrum.
No, don't rush to pack this, doggies.
Well, it's been an incredibly sloppy finish to the half.
It has.
From the,
it was actually, I was literally about to say I've been impressed with their carry.
There hadn't been too many mistakes from either team, really. And then the mistake from Joondalup from the kick-off. And I don't know that we've had any more than one tackle since for 5 errors. So Grace Matthew changes that pattern. With a nice strong charge. Gilmore Spence out to Edwards, around the corner pass. Moronga steps in field, tries to beat one, looks at the try line, wants it. The Bulldogs say no. Good stop there from Lewis. Gilmore Spence to dummy half. The crash play. Edwards another offload. Gilmore Spence again. Floats one out. It's with Warren. Warren goes wide and Wiley will dot down. Well, they had to work for it there, the Giants, and they finish with a good try out wide to Taryn Wiley.
Japers. Coming from nothing. I'm going to suggest, Donny, that someone's forgot to hit the bell. Bit of controversy.
It's gone a little longer than we would have expected.
There is no time off in the women's game, and we're now deep into red time.
I've not heard the siren just yet.
Could that try have been scored when it shouldn't have? Well, I think it was in the motion of being carried when it should have gone.
It was a long play.
It was a long play, yeah. So I think it was in the motion of being carried. So maybe just holding off on the siren until this is kicked. It's missed. There it is. So maybe it did go off. We just didn't hear it.
I'm sure we'll have some eagle eyes will let us know whether that play should have been allowed to go, whether it had expired. We have another look at the Taryn Wiley try. The beneficiary of a couple of really good offloads from Chanel Edwards in that set. That second phase play just adding to the fatigue of the Kalamunda Bulldogs at half time. The Giants leading 24-4.
They do look fatigued. But that's probably the easiest thing to fix, Don. Again, I don't know the specifics of how the team came together. It seemed to me, especially in the early stages, that they'd sort of cobbled them together really late, which would suggest why they're probably not as fit as they should be, or some of the other teams. But skill-wise, they are on the up. I mean, that first 30 minutes, well, they scored first, and their carriers looked really good. So looking forward to the next 30. I mean, the 24 points down, it's not 80. It's not going towards 80, so this is a positive.
Absolutely. Well, we'll take a break and be back with the second half shortly.
No, we're off already.
There we
underway.
Go. Second half underway. As we come back, it's the Bulldogs kicking off, and straight away the Giants wanting to add to their lead with Moronga. Kairo Moronga with a great kick return, getting deep into Bulldogs territory. Well, there was a lot of conversation from the Bulldogs coaching staff. I don't know whether it was about that. This wasn't the ideal start, as Edwards had a tremendous finish to that half. And now the penalty.
And that's not good. It's wonderful thing about Weber Reserve, Donny. There's always plenty of kids around.
There is.
Having fun.
Having a good time. Chernak goes from dummy half and
did
gets
you get that
herself
down?
on the
No,
score
she did
sheet.
eventually. So I think that's probably the stuff they need to work on, especially when the opposition is in the red zone. Just make sure you discipline, because that wasn't great defending, make sure your discipline's on song, because you don't want to give the opposition any further opportunity when they're inside their 20 as a new team. And they're the easy things you can work on.
Start to the half, not exactly what they had drawn up, giving away a line break just straight away from the kickoff. The Giants, well, it feels a little bit like they're working through the gears here tonight.
Well, again, as you mentioned, Don, they're probably conscious of what Freo did early in the earlier game, and opportunity for them, probably thinking, well, put some points on.
Conversion attempt successful. The Giants out to a 30 points to 4 lead. The Cash Converter scoreboard as we have another look at the try. Tyra Chernak. Just 2 minutes in to this second 30. Mind to put more on.
Tomorrow we're down at Rocco, all south this week.
A good opportunity to see the Sharks. It's a competitive game last week against the Giants, a high scoring one.
It's just the games in the men's comp last week. There was some interesting scorelines.
It certainly was. The Fremantle Roosters with their best win of the year, you'd have to say.
Not just their best win, Don, but they look like the Freo of old.
Yeah.
To do it at South Perth as well. They came out, they wanted to make a statement, and at no stage they looked like they were challenged.
Very good win for them, and the Bears, a huge win for them. As there's a great run from Grace Matthew. One of the Bulldogs players just got run over the top of and has stayed down on the deck. Some concern.
He's just like, just wait, I just need a sec. Well, maybe not, actually. Oh, head.
It is Karian Morongi,
Was it knee?
who's been one of the best here for Kalamunda. This would be a blow. So the first player to show concern was the 21 who went off earlier, got helped off earlier. That we hoped it was a contact injury with the knee, and she's back out there. So our hopes were correct.
Her head hit the ground with a bit of force, but it doesn't seem to be what they're concerned about.
Well, it's
I think I heard a call.
it's unsure exactly what it is that they are concerned about, because there's no.
I think they're themselves. I think it was her I heard. I think I heard her cry out, actually, to be honest. I tell you what, that was me, my brain would be rattled at the moment, so it could be. But it is, again, she was holding that left knee, and now they seem to be giving some focus on that. I didn't see anything contact in it.
Yeah, lower leg on the left. I don't know whether it's knee or maybe a little lower. Maybe a calf or something in that area. I'm not entirely sure.
Well, the kids are having fun.
But as it was with the injury a bit earlier, there certainly is some
concern.
Visible pain on the face of Morangi.
Earlier this evening, we did some stuff up at the Territory, Don, and that was noted how different the patches of grass are. Just noticed again on the hill there where the kids are playing, extremely lush. It's been the first time for a while we haven't really had much rain. Had almost like 2 weeks of rain. Still on the deck. It is that leg they're concerned about.
Yeah, they took a long time in straightening out the leg there, and it was a fair bit of pain. So it might be
extended break here.
They're trying to get her up here now.
Do you know what it is?
She's sitting up, but standing up might be a different.
She does
a different task altogether.
Looks in significant distress. Yeah, she's in a lot of distress there. You know what? The way she's holding it, it could be the knee. I hope it's not. Yeah. So I think
it's difficult to tell from the images that we're getting, but it seems like there is pain shooting all the way through a leg every time they try and move it.
Well, if the experience tells me anything, and of course I'm a very experienced sports physician.
Yeah.
It's the ones that hurt the most, the ones you don't have to worry about. It's the innocuous ones. Good friend Kieran Crowe. I don't know if you were involved in that game a couple of weeks ago against the brothers. No, it was the Dragons, the Chico Motlop Shield. Hurt his knee in that game, and we had a chat to him after. Axe had a chat to him on the sidelines after, and he did come off, but he was walking around. Saw him this week in a brace, and he's done his ACL. So he's got an extended stint on the sideline, which is horrible. If you know Kieran Crowe at all, or Lumpy as he's affectionately called, one of the toppest blokes you'll ever meet. He's the heart and soul right now of the South Darwin Rabbitohs up there at the top end. But this looks to be, I reckon that's a knee.
Well, I think whatever it is, it seems fairly serious.
And it seemed innocuous, and quite often it is those innocuous contacts that cause the most issue. But as we did in the first half, Don, we're gonna hope that it's just incidental contact, maybe a stinger. Put some ice on it, give it a rub. Hopefully it'll be okay. But she does not look very happy at the moment as we're back into live play.
She's over the sideline, and the Giants straight away from the resumption race away for a try through Sinead Lowndes. She gets a second.
And for about 2-3 minutes or so there, we forgot there's a game of rugby league on. Well, and the Giants didn't.
She'd barely stepped over the sideline out it,
and then bang.
And then
3 passes, 4 passes.
Play resumed.
Thank you very much.
I don't know that the Kalamunda Bulldogs heard the referee play time back on.
I didn't know it was on either.
Well, not a lot of sympathy there from the Joondalup Giants.
No. It's almost like they had a play in their belt. They're just waiting for it to enact it. See a couple of just a lonely group of supporters there on the sidelines, rugged up. It is a cold night. That's the one thing that Perth does to it. It does get cold. It's a big blanket.
Well, look cosy enough.
Yeah.
Good spot to be.
Living their best lives. That's fallen short.
The oohs and ahs in the crowd.
You see it again. Just pedestrians. Almost like she was making up for lost time.
Bulldogs, they do the slow march back to the halfway line once again.
What is the rule for delaying game? Is there one?
There's loosely a rule, but it's not specific.
Enforced, really.
No, there's nothing specific. You're not allowed to intentionally waste time, but that's fully up to the referee's discretion. And generally, they'll call time off if
yes, that's
the time.
Yeah.
If a team is wasting time rather than penalising them or putting players in the sin bin. That you don't often see anything escalate for time wasting.
Somewhat of a short kick-off. Taken easily.
Asked a question there, a Parakura Shernak, but
had the answer.
Was shelling peas. Was Smiler. Carries a couple up towards the Bulldogs 40-metre line. Porter goes to the middle with Edwards. Edwards looks to get the fend. And stand in the tackle, eventually put down. Now Matthew, physical again, goes between defenders with some late footwork. Always hard to put down. Now Gilmore Spence. They go out wide. The Lowndes and the ball hit the deck. Thorpe puts it down. And the Bulldogs.
She probably passed out before she needed to be honest. I think it might have actually been in front of her as well.
Well, they haven't seen a lot of the student in this second half, the Bulldogs, so they'll be hoping to get through this set. And now a good strong charge, Missy, for you. Comes up with the error. Thorpe cleans it up.
Collects the offload. The ground as well.
Warren gets out of the tackle, gets up, goes again. Now Edwards finding some space, bouncing through tackles. Finds the grass, quick play the ball, they work to the left. They look like they've got numbers out here, but the ball hits the ground. The water boy was willing the ball towards him.
Whatever you can do. Bit of voodoo magic.
Oh, he couldn't get the ball to him. It's Gilmore Spence, short ball to Warren, steps off the right foot. Beats one. The Bulldogs get some numbers in the tackle. Pass balloons out to Lowndes, who explodes. Lowndes out of one tackle. Looking to reach around, but can't get it there. Matthew from dummy half, not the best of passes. Smiler, good quick hands, out to Porter. Porter flicks it out, and now Munro is taken into touch. Well, great scramble from the Kalamunda Bulldogs.
Well done. There's good pressure there too as well. Especially from dummy half and quick up off the mark. Put them under pressure. That first pass was put under pressure as well. And they had to spread that ball wide. They were going back a bit. But they managed to hold that line and that coverage as well. They didn't break the line, which was good. And that's a good defensive set.
Continuing to work hard for each other. The Bulldogs, they're outmatched skill-wise. As I've said a few times tonight, we can't fault their effort. Going backwards in that tackle is Nene. A bit of slow motion footy. Siakia tries to pick up the pace.
Strength.
I don't have 23 on my list, so we'll just call her Michael Jordan.
Priscilla Tapia.
Tapia.
Tapper, sorry. That's fair touch. Looks like she's come off the bench. We've still got on the sidelines there. She's still. Maybe they're waiting for some external assistance. I think they might be actually. She's still on the sidelines there. With the knee. I assume it's a knee.
Never a nice feeling. As Matthew offloads to Lowndes. Lowndes again trying to find some space up on the back of that second phase. Edwards, she's created a bit of second phase herself. She turns into a halfback, gets it again out to Munro. And again, the scramble defence from the Bulldogs gets across and shuts her down. They go from dummy half. They burrow in towards the line. And I think that's a try. It's Edwards again out of dummy half. 2 tries going from dummy half. She might have found a new vocation.
Dummy half, well, she is the veteran. Scoring tries wherever she wants them. Good that. You called it well there, Don. Good scrambling defence. And just here, I think, 2 bunched, girls. 2 bunched on that right edge. So they all bunched up on that right edge. It's allowed that gap to open up just to the left. And you can't let someone like Edwards see that. Her experience has got to take advantage of that.
Love to check the career stats and see how many career hat-tricks Chanel Edwards has. She's got 2 so far tonight. I wouldn't imagine...
we need a... well, they'll be stored somewhere. They'll be online somewhere, surely.
You would think so, but...
cricket scores are, football scores are. Oh, it's gone left. Right, I should say. Should have gone left.
Slices rather than swings.
Smile on her face. She's loving it.
38 points to 4 on the cash converter scoreboard as we have a look at Edwards' second.
I do like the Giants jumper. I do like that one as well. There's uniqueness about them.
I've always been a big fan of the Giants logo.
Yeah.
They of course have a logo specific to their women's team.
Yep.
A female Giants.
Yep.
Which I think is
I think it also shows the value they hold in their women's program as well, which is great. I mean, obviously, for so many years it was, they were, them and the Rabbitohs were the ones that were the powerhouses of the competition. But it's a unique brand, isn't it? So obviously the Bulldogs, we know, that's in the NRL, Canterbury, and there's the Bears, which are North Sydney, etc., which will soon be the Perth Bears
now. Yeah.
But the Giants, they're a unique.
Well, I think originally from the Huddersfield Giants over in the UK.
Oh, UK, of course, yes. Which I guess in that regard, Joondalup. Well, not really at Joondalup, are they? But there is a lot of people that talk in a particular way up that end. That's where they all go. They go up there to Giant Land. Back to play. Oh, she's dummy to her left.
It's funny. There's a few up Joondalup way, and I think there's a few down Rockingham way as well.
So that's a different kind of top down there. It's a bit of rugby league. It's a bit more of a tang.
I'm sure they love the impression. You might get some
look at this.
feedback as...
Oh, it's gone dead. That's all right.
Well, you
I'm
talk
here all
about
week.
you talk about Edwards hunting a hat trick. I think Tegan Munro could have had about 4 or 5 tries. She doesn't have one to her name, but
No.
she's looked very close a couple of times, including from that kick that went through, just beating her over the dead ball line. Well, the tap there from Siakia, she looked around for someone to give it to have the run.
Nobody wanted it.
Everyone had their back turned. You're on your own, Tracy.
You've said it a few times. You can't fault their effort. I mean, I can't expect many more to be put on by Joondalup. That's a silly thing to say, but they're on track to one of their best results. And that's a great carry there. She's got through. This is the best catch, the best carry of the game for the Dogs. They could be heading towards their best result of the season, and we've got a penalty, Don.
High tackle is the call. The referee just slowing things down and allowing the Joondalup Giants to get their defensive line
Another great
set.
one.
I'll tell you what,
Look at this.
She's been the best player, or best player for the Bulldogs for mine. Missy Few in the 13. Had a very strong game. Every time she's carried it, she's looked dangerous. As
Oh, referee just called held.
Jessie Graham just sent back to the mark to play it. Wind up for another carry. Edwards with the tackle. They're on Albert. Slow play the ball. Look to the right-hand side. With a stop go. The ball's come free.
No, apparently not.
Has managed to hold on to it. Siakia. Now into the middle of the field. An offload, standing in the tackle. Nene can't get a pass away, and I think that's the last tackle. Is it?
No, it should be fifth now.
Well, she was looking around it. Pulled back to have another go at playing it. It's a bit of conversation, but now Siakia puts the kick in behind. Looks too big, is too big. Well, called pretty early and correctly from Dave McRae.
It wasn't a bad set. Was helped up the ground a bit with a penalty for a high tackle, but that first carry did all the damage. I was about to say they're not afraid to move the ball.
Absolutely.
It's great to say. I mean, they'll spread the ball. I mean, that last tackle set, that last tackle, they quite happy to send it expanded across the ground. So, and again, that's been impressive because earlier in the year, I would have expected one of those passes to go to ground. But they've been really clean with their hands.
Yep, plays it back to Gilmore Spence. And now crashing down this left-hand side goes Brianna Bunce.
Ball's come out.
Ripped
What's
out.
not saying stripped. Oh, okay, she wants to go quickly.
And allowed to. It's been a little bit inconsistent when he's allowed quick taps and when he hasn't. Allowing it on that occasion. Caught a little high there, and the whistle will come for the high shot. There from Paul. Warren not bothered. Takes the tap and
to go.
Well, similarly, like up the other end, she looked for a runner. Nobody wanted it. They all had their backs turned. The difference is,
fine, I'll go
says,
myself.
I'll go myself and I'll score.
I'll score. Don't know what your problem is. Jesus.
If you don't want to score, I'll do it. Why not? It's
confidence. There you go. You don't want it? Oh, okay. All right. I'll just duck in here to the left. Get some of that. Bang.
grabs her first try, because it can often be a bit of a danger in some games like this, is that suddenly everybody wants to get on the score sheet, and you can get a little bit of a selfish play creep in at times. Which can lead to bad habits when you get into harder games, but Doesn't seem to be too much of a problem for the Giants tonight as they convert that one. 44 points to 4 on the cash converted scoreboard. After trailing 4-0 early, it took them 21 minutes to hit the lead, the Giants. They would be behind or at least level until 21 minutes into the game where they scored to go up 8-4. So Kalamunda, they were pretty good early.
Just going through the numbers now, Don, and we've got 5 minutes left. I know I'm going to come to regret this, but the closest they've come so far this year has been against the Giants. Well, against the Giants as well, actually. There you go. So in round 5, they went down by 50 points. 12-62. In that game, they scored 2 tries. I think it was 2 tries. It was at Hartfield Park.
3 tries, was it?
It was 3 tries. Look at that. So, just baby steps, little areas of improvement each week. I've got 5 or 4 minutes and change to hold them out a bit longer.
They'll certainly be hoping to not concede 50. Porter wants to make sure they do.
And that, of course, will be the first time this year they've kept it under 50, and that'll help.
Mistake there from the Giants. They play the ball. Packing the scrum. Again, we'll take a bit of time off the clock. The Kalamunda Bulldogs, well, looking to cover the 50.5 start. Now working towards the right-hand side, and the mistake. He just looked up. And comes up with the error. And another scrum will be put down. The Giants look to go on the attack. Matthews steps off the right, beats the first. Second effort slows the play, the ball down. Edwards, able to run a long way, goes out to Smiler. Smiler tips it on to Lowndes. Lowndes stepping, jinking, weaving. Siakia on her back. They make the tackle. Smiler across to Edwards. Edwards looks for the third. She's got the hat trick.
You knew it was coming.
Well, she's looked like she's wanted it most of the night. She wanted points, she wanted tries. She gets across for a third. The conversion attempt to try and make this 50.
Should just nudge this over.
Should do. Successful conversion as the full-time siren sounds. The Joondalup Giants winning this one 50 points to 4 as we have another look at the third try, the hat-trick. So Chanel Edwards again just bursting through the line. Too strong. It's a rare career hat-trick.
Well, they didn't quite keep him below 50, but what they did do is they recorded their best result of the year thus far. It's the first time that a team hasn't put 50 plus on them. And they've gone down by 46 points, which again, baby steps for a new franchise, for a new club. It's their best result of the season thus far. So when you've been belted by 82 points the week prior, I suppose everything's an improvement, isn't it? But they looked. We saw them in, was it round 1 or round 2?
Round 1.
It was round 1 against the Bears. I think, I weren't a lot about the Bears and what the Bears were going to be in 2025 in that game. And I also thought I'd learnt a lot about what the Dogs were going to dish up. But they are a significantly different team to what they were in round 1.
Yes. Yeah, they certainly are an improving team. And I thought that opening 15, 20 minutes of this game, I dared to dream, I think, in that opening 15 minutes. They scored that first try.
Yeah.
They looked great with ball in hand.
Yeah.
Their first contact in that opening 10 minutes or so was good as well. It did fall away pretty quickly, and the Giants ran away with a convincing win, and they deserved to. But there's certainly signs, if they can get that first 10 minutes of this game, if they can stretch that to 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, then they're going to be a team that's going to continue to improve. So I hope they can stick together, keep this squad together, and build towards having a competitive 5th team in this competition.
Let's hope so. We'll keep them together, continue to come to games with big benches, and they can continue to have smiles on their faces, which they did at the start of the game, Don. That's all we want. That's all we want in footy. Well, that's the end of the game here. Weber Reserve was a bit of a staggered start for us off camera. But tomorrow, as mentioned, we're down at Shark Park. It's Rockingham Sharks hosting the Willagee Bears at a special kick-off time of 5:30. So if you're watching from interstate, it's not 3:30, it's 2 hours later. We'll be on air from about 5:20 p.m. WA time. Just the one game, because of course it is Deadly Cup in the top end, and we'll be with you there as well on Sunday. It's amazing how we can be in 2 places within 12 hours, Don. But we're going to do it.
Absolutely. We're very
big
special.
We're very special. Big weekend of rugby union. Thanks for joining us here at Weber Park. At the end, it was the Giants 50, defeating the Dogs 4. And the story for mine was this was the best performance for the Dogs this year, but the Giants have notched another victory, which will keep them in touch with the top 3. From myself, from Donnie, we'll see you tomorrow, and it's good night.